So the I guess campaigning for the Grammys or whatever, or the Grammy nominations came out as of late, and Tyla and her team had submitted to compete in the R&B artist Grammy category, but the Grammys decided to put her in the pop artist nomination instead. Now that category is stacked with like Sabrina Carpenter, what's the lesbian? Chapel Roan, Charlie
Roman.
Charlie XCX, I think her name is, Taylor Swift. Like, that's stacked as fuck. And her team is a little mad that they put her in the pop genre instead of R&B. Arguably, though, Tyla is not R&B. She doesn't make R&B music. She doesn't make pop music.
Water was pop. Water was pop.
Water was
to me,
Water was pop.
Are you sure her team was upset about that? They said that her team.
Yeah.
Because that, to me, I get why they'd be upset. Because if you want her to go to R&B, it's because you want her to win something.
Yeah, but she's already won a Grammy for
every year
African artists.
But every year you want to win something. So that's what I'm saying. That's why they put you in the R&B, because they know it's the same thing they did with the Tommy Richmond nigga. They put him in the hip hop category, even though he just came out earlier and said he wasn't hip hop.
Yes, which wasn't smart on his end, because you didn't need to say that. We all know you're not hip hop, motherfucker.
Well, see, that's the thing. Well, we never talked about that, but we can touch on it a little bit, because I never heard my point about it being expressed. Two things can be true. He could have said that because he knew his team was going to put him in the hip hop category, and he didn't like that. Mm-hmm. When they nominate you, he don't own his music. Like, I know that they'll try to act like he does.
No, people campaign for you for Grammys.
But I'm saying not even that. Even if you put the music up there, he don't make that call. There's somebody else in his team that makes that call to send it to the Grammys. They're going to put it in there to nominate you whatever they can win. So there could easily have been a conversation to say, hey, these are the things we nominated you for. He sees it, says, oh, I'm not hip hop. Does a interview where he maybe asked that question to be brought up so that he can say that.
I thought he just tweeted it.
I thought he was in an interview when he said that.
Okay, he could look it up while you talk. Yeah.
But regardless, I'm announcing that, and I'm making this statement because I know the bullshit is about to happen, and I'm trying to make sure my stance is on there. With the thing with Tyla, I feel like that's good for her team, because I mean that's her team should be looking at it as a positive, because being set up amongst them, especially as a black artist or an artist of color, is a big deal. Mm-hmm. Like, they don't just put artists of color in the pop section like that unless you are sold out to the string. Like, everything about you is sold. Every last dime of your publishing is signed to some other white man. It's usually when they'll throw a color person in pop. Real shit. Usually pop is code for the white, R&B is code for black.
Yes.
So, and even though she's colored, but I'm just saying she would fall more into that R&B, and that's why they felt like she could win that.
Okay, so now I want to get into the conversation of, there are some black artists in the R&B genre that lean more, a little bit, like you could lean them more towards pop, but they have never been considered for that, like SZA.
Yeah.
So why do you think that, like, immediately off bat, Tyla was able to be put in the pop genre instead of R&B, when genuinely I don't think she makes either? Like, I don't think she makes pop music, and I don't think she makes R&B. And I know you didn't listen to the album, but the album is not a R&B album, and it's not a pop album. That is a African Amapiano fucking album, bro. Like, you need to have a completely different sector of, if you are going to, because African music, international music in general, is becoming more popular. Pop cannot just be the popular music. There needs to be a different thing that defines pop music, because a bunch of other art, different genres are becoming more popular. And if it's just the music, if pop music is just the most popular music, then it's gonna be different sounds. Right? If that's the case, then 100% put Tyla in pop, because she's super popular. And if pop is just what everyone's listening to, then yeah. But I do think that all of these award shows need to do a better job at having awards for different types of music that fall outside of the American genres of music. And they need to be regular, like, awards that are showed on air.
Well, to answer your question, why do I feel like she was able to jump to the pop sector? I think that has qualities and features that are regularly or generally identified with being fetishized by white people. I think she's more able to be consumed by them a lot easier than maybe like a Tim's or someone like that may be from over there, because of, even though she does have
and Tim's album was amazing, on par with Tyla's. Even
though she has a brown hue to her, she is very small. She's tiny. She speaks almost like an Indian girl. Like, she comes off with qualities that white people would generally associate with the model minority type shit.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's easier for her. And I think she's also has contracts up to her eyeballs as well. I think she's probably sold all of her publishing and everything the same as a lot of artists did back in the day. And that's why they have no problem pushing her that way. I think that when you put resistance up, when you don't give 100% access to the labels and people in charge, then they're less likely to give you these kind of looks. And I think she's one of those artists now. We're seeing that actually a lot with the female artists, because I think a lot of women are, again, and Melissa Ford talked about this on the Joe Budden podcast about not being able to negotiate. I think we're seeing that more in real time, with women having those issues to negotiate. And that's why women are becoming more popular in media and in advertising than we had in the past. It used to be women were too expensive when we can get men to sign the shit deals that women were signing.
And now women are signing the shit deals.
Now men are in some regard resisting starting their own things to then sell, and the women are still following similar old model traditions because
women are signing the shit deals.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying.
Women are signing the shit deals.
I'm not trying to make it sound like it's exclusively just women.
Like,
because I just said Tommy Richmond is probably in a shit deal.
Yeah, probably.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not just, it's artists who are more likely to break, and people can see a lot more potential into. So they're more likely to have a more, strict contract and all that other shit. Somebody who ain't no real know if he gonna win, you might just give him a little fly by night deal where you don't really lose nothing, but if he goes, then you gain a lot. So that's what I'm saying. I just think that's why she was able to do that. She is more palatable for white people in the long run. I
think Tyla is extremely palatable for white people. I'm obsessed. Like, I cannot stop looking at the girl. Like, every time I see her pop up, like, I have to watch her. Like, the tiny waist. Like, she dances well. She sings fairly well. Like, she definitely has more vocal training. Like, when she gets more experience, she's gonna be way more of a powerhouse vocally. But I think her whole aesthetic, like, I love it, and I like watching her. So yeah, she looks like a doll with a tiny waist. Like, it's absolutely